Now, if we start with two straight lines not passing through origin, something like this, and maybe like this, L1, L2. So L1 may look like, say, let us take some example, 2x plus or 2x minus, because it is having positive slope, 3y is equal to एकाच बाजूला घेऊया plus 2 is equal to 0. This is L1 and L2 x 4y minus 1 is equal to 0. Suppose these are the two lines, then what will be the joint equation of these two lines? So S, which is our degree 2 curve, will look like 2x minus 3y minus 2 into x plus 4y minus 1 is equal to 0, which we can very easily do it. 2x square minus 12y square, 8 was a 3 plus 5xy minus 2 minus 4x plus 3 minus 8 plus 5y plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, this way it is easy. So this is a general equation of pair of lines. We can say it with confidence that this represents POL, and they look like this geometrically. They get factorized like this, and of course this is POL. Then if I say S is equal to 3x square plus 5xy plus 7y square minus 3x minus 8y plus, if I say 11 is equal to 0, will I be confidently say that this is pair of lines? Most probably it will not. Most probably this will not be pair of lines. Okay. So which particular term, if I adjust constant, I think we should deal with it and make it POL. So maybe I will say that I will not put 11, I will put K. And if you are good, you should find the value of K. So instead of, if it is 11, it is not POL. That is what I declare right now, unless we get K is equal to 11, not POL. If K is equal to 11. So find K for this S to be POL. Find K for S to be POL. That is your exercise. Warm up exercise early in the morning. Either you do this or be ready for skipping rope. Okay. Now there are two corrections. One correction here I wrote positive in the first place, which should be negative. And now in the example, I should have given this negative. Otherwise, you are not sure about those two lines. They might be imaginary lines. The moment I make this negative, I hope they are real lines. And let us now find out what is the value of K. So we have to deal with this degree 2 general equation once for all and find out necessary and sufficient condition for S to be POL. Find necessary and sufficient condition for S ax square plus by square plus 2hxy plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 to be pair of lines. Okay, this is the most important discussion that we are going to have. So I give you sufficient time to derive how these coefficients A, B, H, G, F, C are supposed to be related to each other, then this general equation will be pure. That means this general equation can be factorized into two linear factors, two brackets representing one bracket representing one line, another bracket representing another line. So how these parameters A, B, H, G, F, C should be related to each other, that is what is necessary and sufficient condition. It should be both ways. I mean, if the parameters are like that, they will be POL, and if it is POL, then the parameters should follow the rule if and only if. Let us check whether it is really if and only if or not, what are the additional conditions we require, etc. So play with coefficients now and get me the condition. Okay, now the theory of quadratic equation that we have learned in 9th standard, it is extremely important. And because we have two-dimensional geometry, which is degree 2 equation in two variables, every now and then we come across something related to quadratic equation, especially when we are studying 2D geometry. So basically we want to factorize this into two linear factors, and they are not going to be easy. There is a internet speed problem. Okay. Basically what we have to do is to factorize this into two linear factors, and linear factors will have term of x, term of y, and constant, and therefore it becomes complicated. If it was homogeneous, it is easy. So what strategy that we are going to adopt is, we will consider this as quadratic equation. You have two choices: either you consider it as quadratic in x or quadratic in y. So we will begin without loss of generality. Without loss of generality. काय चाललंय? Okay, let a not be equal to 0. This implies we can consider it as quadratic in A, because definitely there is a degree 2 term, and we start factorizing. So ax square plus what is no, quadratic in x. So what is the coefficient of x now? 2hy plus 2g times x, 2xy plus 2g times x, and then what is the constant? By square plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. This is quadratic in x. Okay, and then we factorize using quadratic formula. We factorize. Okay, so x is equal to minus b, that is minus 2hy plus 2g plus or minus under root b square, 2hy plus 2g b square minus 4a by square plus 2fy plus c. divided by 2a. That is why we require a not equal to 0. What happened to without loss of generality? Without loss of generality. Left. Okay. So this is what is the value of x, but it involves y in RHS, and therefore if we want a linear, we can always throw this to the LHS. 2a x is linear, minus 2hy is a linear, minus 2g is constant, so I can put all these terms to the LHS, and then we are left with plus or minus under root this big quantity. Unless and until we decide about this big quantity, essentially if it has to get factorized into two linear factors, this expression inside radical sign should be well behaved. Okay, what do we mean by well behaved? It should be perfect square or it should be 0, and we cannot afford it to be negative, because then it is going to be imaginary. Maybe that is what was happening in first case when I made this 7 little different. Anyway, so we have to concentrate on what this is, and therefore we can take this 2 out and make it little look easy. That is hy plus g square. 2 square, that is 4, comes out, becomes 2, and 2 gets cancelled. Is it okay? And then 2 cancels out from everywhere. Maybe I have written, therefore I cancel it out here, I cancel it out here, I cancel it out here, and I don't write here. Minus a times by square plus 2fy plus c. Now, okay, so we want this to be perfect square, or it should be 0. So look at it. Let us figure out how will it look. Now we are not considering any special cases, which we will come back and consider. But what is this expression inside radical? Let us write it. What is this expression? It is hy plus g square minus aby square minus 2a f y minus AC is equal to 0. And now if it has to be a perfect square, then what will happen? It's a quadratic in y actually. So we will get square root of that, and then it will be linear in y, and that y will get absorbed somewhere here and something will happen. Is this correct? There we will write it. काय चुकलं का?
hy plus g whole square आहे.
अरे हा, तेच म्हणतो मी, हे दिसायला चांगलं दिसत नाहीये, काहीतरी घोळ मारलाय. दिस इज hy plus g bracket square, and therefore we need to take care of that. I will write it again. H square y square plus 2hgy plus g square minus aby square minus 2afy minus ac is equal to 0. Now we have to consider this as a quadratic in y, because that is how we are going to, and it has to be perfect square. Therefore y square inside bracket h square minus ab plus y into 2ghy minus 2af, and then constant term g square minus ac is equal to 0. Correct? Now if this has to be a perfect square, discriminant of this quadratic must be 0. Discriminant of this quadratic must be 0. So delta of this quadratic is 2g. Let us take out 2 common. That will make it 2 into gh minus af square minus 4 h square minus ab into g square minus ac should be equal to 0, and that makes it GH minus AF bracket square, 4 gets cancelled, minus H square minus AB into G square minus AC should be 0. And this is how they are supposed to be related. So what do we finally get? That is G square H square minus plus A square F square minus 2AFGH minus G square H square plus ACH square plus ABG square minus A square BC is equal to 0. बरोबर है? And then you will realize that this is the term which gets cancelled out and the rest of the terms have A in it and A is not equal to 0. Therefore, we can cancel and write it in nice looking form ABC plus 2FGH minus AHS, sorry, minus if A is removed then AF square, FGH is taken, A is removed, minus CH square minus BG square is equal to 0. And then this is the necessary and sufficient condition which is important to us. However, we are not finishing the discussion. We have to go back and analyze whether whatever we have done is legal or not and in which cases it becomes illegal, etc. But then necessary and sufficient condition. Now, it is difficult to remember in this way, therefore, it is fashionable to remember it like this: ABC, FGH, FGH is equal to 0. This is delta. If general degree to equation in X and Y is supposed to be POL, then this discriminant must be 0. And if you expand this discriminant, you will get this expansion, LHS. So first you write this. Now, we said that this is quadratic in Y, inside radical, and it has to be a perfect square. First question, is it really quadratic in Y? What if it does not remain quadratic in Y? So if it does not remain quadratic in Y, that means the same expression we have written here, we are questioning whether if it does not remain quadratic in Y, what will happen? How can it be a perfect square if it is not quadratic in Y? So in other words, what we are saying is, if it is not quadratic in Y, that means I am saying that H square minus AB is equal to 0. If I say H square minus AB is equal to 0, then this expression will not continue to remain quadratic in Y. And if it is linear in Y, something like ky plus t inside radical, then forget about having two pair of lines, because this is not a complete square. You will not get square root of Y. I mean, you will end up getting square root of Y somewhere or the other. This is the final simplification of this term inside radical. And therefore, when we assume that it is a quadratic equation in Y, we are assuming that H square minus AB is not equal to 0. But if H square minus AB is equal to 0, because we are just correlating the coefficients, H square minus AB can be 0. In that case, what is our geometric interpretation? And in that case, what is additional implication that we must have? Can somebody tell me? If H square minus AB is 0, then this calculation doesn't make any sense. They are wrong. If H square minus AB is 0, what calculations are you doing? So if H square minus AB is 0, and still if we wish to get the quadratic equation, or if we wish to get it as finally POL, then what must happen? If h square minus ab is 0, then what must happen? Then and then only it will be POL. Then if h square minus ab is 0, then might as well this coefficient also should be 0 and this coefficient also should be 0. Uh, okay, if this is not 0, fair enough, we will get square root of 15 or whatever this bad number is, but at least this must be 0. And therefore, if x square minus ab is 0, then we must get gh minus af should be equal to 0, then POL. Correct? Because you are just removing y from the radical axis by making both the coefficients 0, and hence whatever this g square minus ac number remains, we can always take square root of that. It is going to continue as a real number and it will add up to this minus g, plus and minus, and therefore you will end up getting POL. Now what kind of POLs these two will be? If x square minus ab is 0, gh minus af must be 0. Oh, okay. But then do we really need to change the final condition, or do we automatically get the condition that we are expecting? If h square minus ab is 0, if h square minus ab is 0, then so that let us work on this. If h square minus ab is 0, that means h square is equal to ab, and gh minus af is equal to 0, that means gh is equal to af. Therefore h upon a is equal to f upon g, and h upon a is equal to b upon h. So that means h upon a comma b upon h comma f upon g are equal. That means they are parallel lines. The two lines that we are going to get are going to be parallel, because, is it correct? What am I saying? Suppose this is 0 and this is 0, then what quadratic equation we will get is ax is equal to minus hy minus g, and then this is not 0, then plus minus radical g square minus ac. These are the two lines that we will get. And they are parallel lines because ax plus hy is equal to g plus radical g square minus ac, or a square plus hy is equal to g minus radical g square plus ac. So the constant term is different, therefore they are two parallel lines. That is what we get out of this. And if we have g square minus ac also 0, then they are coincident pair of lines, because this term disappears and both the lines look alike, coincident. So this is this geometrically is pair of parallel lines. And along with these two conditions, if you happen to have g square minus ac also 0, then it is coincident. It's pair of coincident lines. Okay, up to this point, have you understood? I'm putting it in front of you. Okay, I missed it. I mean, when h by a is equal to b by h is equal to f by g, that means first two rows of this determinant are proportional, and therefore determinant is 0. So if h square minus ab is 0, then we must have gh minus af 0, and that is in line with what this determinant is saying. Therefore it will be pair of parallel lines. And if further to that, if we have g square minus AC also 0, then it is going to be coincident lines. Okay, so question. Let us see how quickly you can resolve 3 by 3 determinant now. 3x square plus xy minus 5y square plus 2x minus 4y plus k is equal to 0. Find k if POL. Okay. Next is ax square plus 2xy minus y square plus 3x plus 5y minus 6 is equal to 0 is a POL. Find the value of A. Okay, answer for this question was k is equal to minus 36 by 61. Answer for this second question, a is equal to 63, and this is new question. Ax square minus 12xy plus 4y square plus 12x minus 8y c is equal to 0 is pair of parallel lines. Find A and C. Okay, so if this is pair of parallel lines, then h square minus ab must be 0. H is minus 6 bracket square minus a is a and b is 4 should be 0. So 4a is equal to 36, a is equal to 9. That is first part of the story, because they are supposed to be parallel, and then only writing 9 there, see, only writing 9 here will not make it POL unless you specify value of C, and there will be unique value of C for which this will turn out to be POL. So now parallelness is gone. If you put A is equal to 9, 9x square minus 12xy plus 4y square plus 12x minus 8y plus c is going to be parallel line, and if it is supposed to be POL, then we should have A is 9, B is 4, C is C, F कुठे गेला हा minus 4, G is 6, and H is minus 6, minus 4, 6, minus 6 should be 0. Okay, so you expand it whatever way you want. 9 into 4c minus 16 plus 6 into minus 6c plus 24 plus 6 into 24 वजा 24, that is 0. Okay, this term is 0, and therefore 36 वजा 36, right? C is disappearing.
Sir, can you
Yes,
any value of C satisfied.
Yes, therefore the second condition that you have to use, that they are proportional. I mean, GH minus AF must be 0. GH correct, then only, and this has to happen. This will give you value of 9. काय झालंय, बरं चाललंय.
सर ते होणारच. ते होणारच GHAF ला
हा
इक्वल
ते
येईल.
होणारच. आणि आता ते जर डिस्टिंक्ट लाईन्स पाहिजे तर पेअर ऑफ पॅरलल काय झालं मग? व्हॉट इज दिस कंडिशन?
So it can be
C
any
is
one.
equal to 0.
If C is 0, if C is 4, then they are coincident lines. Is it happening like that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
E square minus AC, na? Okay. So G square minus AC, if it is equal to 0, then coincident. So in that case, what value do we get? We are having G is equal to 6 square minus A is 9C is equal to 0, and therefore if C is equal to 4, they are coincident lines, and for any other value of C, they are distinct parallel. Oh, correction, I was wrong, because C disappears here, because the two rows are, for any value of C it will become POL, and if you want coincident, then C must be 4. So I have to be careful about numericals today. Now, if it is homogeneous equation, then we write the letter H. So H is a POL passing through origin. 2x square minus 3xy minus 2y square is equal to 0. And now S is POL not passing through origin. 2x square minus 3xy minus 2y square plus 7x plus y plus 3 is equal to 0. Now what is so good about these two POLs? The one which is passing through origin and the one which is not passing through origin, their homogeneous part is same. Okay, and because their homogeneous part is same, they are going to be parallel. If this is POL passing through origin, then another POL that I am trying to show you is going to be like this. Parallel, the one line is parallel to one line of homogeneous equation, another line will be parallel to another. Now, if that is the case, find the equation of line. Passing through intersection of these 2 points, A and B. Do we really need to find out the points of intersection and get the equation of straight line, or is there any other method by which you can directly get? कसं काढलंय तुम्ही? First few students यांनी पटकन काढलंय. See, the homogeneous part is exactly same. Homogeneous part in both the cases is exactly same, and there, that is what is important to us. Answer happens to be 7x plus y plus 3 is equal to 0. That happens to be the linear part in the equation of POL not passing through origin. So this AB, whatever this equation is going to be the linear part. That is what is observation. Why will it be true? Why will it be true? Simple. This is H is equal to 0, POL passing through origin, and suppose any other line is intersecting. Suppose ax plus by plus c is the line which is intersecting the homogeneous equation in x and y, then we can always write down the equation of POL, the equation of POL as H plus L is equal to 0, something like this. Wait, let me. If I write H plus L is equal to S, implies S minus H should be equal to L, and if a point satisfies S and if a point satisfies H, then it must satisfy L. And so A will satisfy L and B will satisfy also L. So if 2 points satisfy linear equation in X and Y, then L should be equation of line AB. Correct? And therefore we get equation 7x plus y plus 3 is equal to 0. Or you can take any point xa, ya, put it in H, it gives you homogeneous part equal to 0. That part is anyway going to be 0 here. And then if second condition also need to be satisfied by A, then this linear part must be xa plus ya plus 3 is equal to 0. Replacing xa by x and ya by y, we get desired equation of straight line. So that is what is very interesting in this. So if you have a homogeneous equation and the moment you are given any general POL, you have a homogeneous part in it. So you can very quickly find out the homogeneous part and corresponding two lines passing through origin, that we can always very quickly find out, and corresponding joint POL also is possible to figure out. Hence what will happen is the angle between these two POLs is going to be angle between these two POLs if it's same. Therefore, in general, if somebody asks you to find out if S is equal to 0 is given and find angle between the two lines, the formula continues to remain same, because angle between the two lines at some other location is same as angle between the two lines at origin. You may note this. So if you want to find out the angle between two lines, when S is equal to 0 is given and not H is equal to 0 is given, it is the same formula that you must use. Now, next important thing that we are supposed to do is, if ax square plus by square plus 2hxy plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 is POL, not origin, because these linear terms exist. So if it is a POL, find coordinates of point of intersection. This is important. Find coordinates of point of. Let alpha comma beta be the coordinates of point of intersection. Shift origin to alpha comma beta, then it should be homogeneous equation in x and y. Shift origin to alpha comma beta, resulting into h is equal to 0, s is equal to 0 will become h is equal to 0 if you shift origin to alpha comma beta, and you should get the coordinates of alpha and beta. It is going to be x is equal to capital X plus alpha and y is equal to capital Y plus beta to be substituted in the homogeneous part. A into x plus alpha bracket square plus b into y plus beta bracket square plus 2h into x plus alpha into y plus beta plus 2g into x plus alpha plus 2f into y plus beta plus c is equal to 0. Okay. Now we need not have to worry about the homogeneous part because it is going to be exactly same as earlier. We need to worry about coefficient of x. So what is the coefficient of x? 2a alpha. Then what is the coefficient of x? Not this small x, maybe capital X. Coefficient of capital X. First term 2a alpha. Second term we will not have x. Third term we have x 2h beta and we will have 2g plus capital Y inside bracket 2b beta plus 2h alpha plus 2f plus constant. I mean, we will have three equations. Constant term in the first case is a alpha square plus b beta square plus 2h alpha plus 2h beta plus 2g alpha plus 2g alpha plus 2f beta plus c. Okay. Now coefficient of x and coefficient of y should be 0, and actually this term also should be eventually 0, but we are having only two unknowns, so let us deal with these two unknowns and solve them simultaneously. So a alpha plus h beta is equal to minus g h alpha plus b beta is equal to minus f, and therefore alpha is equal to minus bg plus hf upon ab square ab minus h square, and beta is equal to, correspondingly you can find out minus af plus gh upon ab minus h square. So you can write them in flipped form. This is what it is. If you want to remember them as h square minus ab, then you change the signs of numerator also. So bg minus hf upon h square minus ab and af minus gh upon h square minus ab. Now how do you write them in still better way? Is A, B, C, F, G, H, F, G, H is our determinant. And in that determinant, I think we have discussed the minor and cofactor. So what is the cofactor of C? C is at 3 position. So positive AB minus H square, right? So if we look at this, then denominator is cofactor of C, capital C. Then BG minus HF is a cofactor of, what is cofactor of G? This is 1, 3 position. So again positive. And cofactor is HF minus BG. So the cofactor here is, you can write it as capital G, cofactor of small g. Okay, in the denominator of beta also it is capital C, which is cofactor of C, and let us see what is cofactor of F now. Cofactor of F, it is 2 3 position, 2 3. So minus of AF minus GH minus of AF minus GH. Okay, so that is what is cofactor of capital F. So it is in line with what we want, and hence we write it. It is easy to remember that way, capital F. So alpha comma beta is equal to capital G by C comma capital F by C, where capital G, capital F and capital C are cofactors. They come along with cofactors. Minor don't come along with sign. That is what is important. You might have to use that several times. Okay, so find point of intersection of 2x square minus 3xy minus 2y square plus 7x plus y plus 3 is equal to 0. Find point of intersection. So the answer here is minus 1 comma 1. Okay. Okay, joint equation of angle bisectors. Joint equation of angle bisectors of POL. If capital C is not equal to 0, that means they are not parallel lines, is given by you can directly write x minus capital G by C, that is shift of origin, bracket square, minus y minus capital F by C bracket square upon a minus b is equal to x minus G upon C into y minus F upon C xy upon h. So whatever we have found out, now we shift origin and then get the equation of bisectors. That is therefore it is small x minus G minus C, because this is capital X with nu. Easy. Okay, next. If S is equal to 0, represents POL, then product of the lanes of perpendicular. From Px1y on these lines is equal to. Okay, find out. The answer is mod S1. Put that point into the equation of S. Denominator radical a minus b bracket square plus 4h square. That is what is the product of perpendicular distances. Okay, next. If S is equal to 0 represents POL, pair of parallel lines. And A is not equal to 0. Then the distance between them is given by. So, find out. Two lines that we have will look like this. If in our first derivation, if we put h square minus ab is equal to 0 and hg minus af is equal to 0, then we will get two lines as ax plus hy plus g plus or minus under root g square minus ac is equal to 0. These are the two lines. And we know the formula for distance between two parallel lines, that is c minus c dash. Absolute distance is c minus c dash is 2 times radical g square minus ac, because c is equal to g plus radical g square minus ac, and c dash is equal to g minus radical g square minus ac. So c minus c dash is 2 times g square minus ac, absolute value close, upon radical a square plus h square. And you can replace h square by h square is equal to ab. Then the answer is radical g square minus ac upon a into a plus b root. This is what is your formula for distance between parallel lines. Okay. We have 9 minutes, so see if you can do this. H is equal to ax square plus 2hxy plus by square is equal to 0, and h dash is equal to a dash x square plus 2h dash xy plus b dash y square is equal to 0. These are two homogeneous equations. Find necessary and sufficient condition such that h is equal to 0 and h dash is equal to 0 have at least one line in common. we will do derivation of this in the next lecture, but you can try doing it for next 7 minutes.